Welcome back, and it is time to go into WWE for this week. And I want to start off with the Royal Rumble from this past Sunday night. A lot of you saw my Royal Rumble video review that I made earlier in the week. And unfortunately, I could not put everything that I wanted to put into that video because of time. But I want to run down some of the stats as far as this Royal Rumble is concerned. Rey Mysterio was the longest man in the ring for all the 30 guys that were in there. He was in that ring for almost 50 minutes in the Royal Rumble this past Sunday night. A very good performance. I think if he had stayed in for like 2 more minutes, he would have been in the top 10 again as far as longevity is concerned. Triple H, he had 6 eliminations, so did the Big Show. Both of those guys eliminated the most men in the Royal Rumble. Very interesting. I thought it was very interesting with all the guys that were in the ring at one time. There must have been close to 15 guys at one time in that match. And it's just very interesting. I thought it was a good Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Like I said, I thought it was a good Royal Rumble match. What I had, the time was 58 minutes, 36 seconds. I might be wrong. I might be a little bit ahead. Who knows? But Randy Orton wins the Royal Rumble. So, we go to Raw. The next night, Cleveland, Ohio. They're in some building. They weren't in the Gund Arena. And I understand why with the economy and stuff. So, Randy Orton comes out. He's got his attorneys. He's got his therapist with him. And he's talking about, why he's doing this. He's like, I have IED. It is something that 16 million people have. I am one of these 16 million. Can you tell by the way I'm talking that I have IED? Did you know that more people have IED than type 2 cancer? Okay, now I don't know about that last part, but still, that was just a weird opening. And then he reads his letter like, I am sorry for what I did to Mr. McMahon this past Monday night. And he's looking at the paper. He's like, I did not mean to kick Mr. McMahon in the head. If I'd wanted to, I would have, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like he's reading like a note from like a 3rd grader. Like a 3rd grader would write like some kind of an excuse, to the teacher. Like, I missed school yesterday because my grandma broke both her legs and can't drive me to school. I don't know. But you know what though? Despite, some of the bad stuff that was there was some good stuff to this Raw. Like the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, Kofi Kingston winning was shocking. I'm happy that he won because what WWE is doing now is they're attempting new talent to put in main event situations. And Kofi Kingston, in my opinion, has deserved the opportunity to main event a pay-per-view. I'm not saying he's going to get a lot of chances to main event a pay-per-view. But if you think about what he's done in the year plus that he's been in WWE, he had a very good feud with Shelton Benjamin in ECW, had a pretty good reign as the Intercontinental Champion, even though the tag title reign was short, him and CM Punk were a good team. So him getting this opportunity to main event a pay-per-view, and it's for the World Heavyweight title, is a very interesting thing. And, depending on how WWE books Kofi into that match, if he pulls off a tremendous performance, we could be seeing a lot more of Kofi Kingston in pay-per-views. Now, Rey Mysterio winning his Elimination Chamber qualifying match over William Regal, right call. To me, Rey Mysterio is built for this chamber match. I said it to myself when I watched that match Monday night. Mysterio wins. That match is made for him. Because he's gonna do all this high-flying stuff with the chamber. He's gonna climb up the cage. He's gonna go onto the, one of those little pod beams, whatever they call them, And who knows? Maybe Rey's gonna steal the show in that match. I would be very interested to see how that goes. John Cena and Shawn Michaels, that match, not as good as 2 weeks ago. You can't really expect a great match like that 2 weeks after, but I thought that told a good story with JBL and Shawn Michaels, how if Shawn Michaels wins, JBL goes into the Elimination Chamber, and how JBL wanted Shawn to do the super kick. And it was just a very good story. It was a good story told, I felt, and it's leading more and more to possibly a JBL Shawn Michaels match come WrestleMania. And then Chris Jericho beating CM Punk, I thought that was the right move again. CM Punk's already got the Intercontinental title. He's main evented a couple pay-per-views last year. Well, he didn't really main event, but he was in high-profile matches last year. And he's got the Intercontinental title. He just won it. So Jericho going over is the right move. Who gets the last 2 spots in that match? That'll be interesting. It'll be determined probably in the next week, maybe this coming Monday night. And then what about that ending? That was like the stupidest ending to Raw in a long time. I mean, I understand that Stephanie's trying to get revenge, and then Randy Orton, with his IED is threatening, if you fire me, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue the company, there's going to be no WrestleMania, Cody and Ted are going to walk out with me, blah, blah, blah. And then Shane McMahon comes out and he tries to beat up Randy Orton, and it looked like Benny Hill. It just did. I mean, it just looked so, ridiculous, but it was funny in a way. I was disappointed in the end of Raw, but, there were a couple of matches that made the show fun, okay to watch this week. It was not as good as the one the previous week, in Chicago, or the one before that, but when you get off such a big pay-per-view as the Royal Rumble, sometimes you're going to have that stumble out of the gate, and apparently that's what happened with WWE this past Monday night. So, but anyway, No Way Out, 2 weeks from this Sunday night, February the 15th, Seattle, Seattle, Washington, main event, 2 Elimination Chamber matches, one for the World Heavyweight title, one for the WWE title. Next week, of course, because I don't spoil SmackDown results on here, next week, I'm sure that we'll know most or all of the men that will be in that chamber match next week. Gonna take a break. Ring of Honor is next.